What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we have the Holosun HE509T is the model number. It's probably like the 5th or 6th Holosun that I have done a review on. What we're going to do is talk about the features of this pistol red dot. We're going to talk about the testing that I did, the pros, the cons, and then what I think of it overall. Before we get into the red dot, I need to quickly do my disclosure. Yes, I do work in the firearms industry, and I do have a couple guys I'm friendly with who work at Holosun. Neither one of those things will affect this review in any way, shape, or form because I always try to be as objective as possible. Just so you know, I did pay for this Holosun red dot on my own with my hard-earned money, and there will be some affiliate links down in the video description. If you want to pick one up, hopefully I can find you a good deal. Now, let's get right into it. One of the biggest differences between this red dot compared to others is it has an enclosed housing. Most other pistol red dots, whether it be in Holosun 507C like this one or an RMR or whatever, is the housing is open. And in the unlikely scenario that dirt or mud or something gets in there, it's going to block the emitter and then your red dot is not working. Again, this one, the housing is enclosed, so in theory, it should be a lot less likely to have any issues with it. Another unique design of this red dot is how you mount it to the pistol. Most pistol red dots that have an open housing, you just run 2 screws right through the optic down onto the slide. With this one here, you can't do it again because the body is enclosed. So it comes with this adapter plate. You screw the adapter plate down onto the slide, and then on the other side of the red dot here, there's a little screw that allows you to screw down the optic to that mounting plate. So it's not hard at all, just a little bit different than other pistol red dots. Another unique feature is you have the ability to change the reticle. Now, most Holosuns have this. This particular one allows you to switch between a 2 MOA dot and a 32 MOA circle. Just by holding down the minus button for a few seconds, you can toggle back and forth. Now, it is also available in either red or green. You can purchase either one, whichever one your eyes prefer. Before we get into the features related to the battery and the battery life, I need to quickly thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is USCCA. USCCA offers self-defense training, self-defense education, and self-defense insurance. If you want to get more information about USCCA, you can click the link down in the video description, type in your email address, and see if USCCA is right for you. All right, back to the battery. Side load battery compartment, it takes a 1632, and that gives you up to 50,000 hours of battery life, and that is on setting 6. It's great that it's a side load compartment. You don't have to take the optic off of the pistol to change the battery and then go back and reconfirm your 0. That is always a pain. It has 12 brightness settings. The bottom 2 of those are night vision compatible. If you are a cool guy running nods, the pistol will work with the nods. It also has, like a lot of Holosuns, has the solar panel on the top, the solar failsafe, where if your battery fails or dies, it can use the sun as a source to run that red dot for you. So at least your dot's not completely down if your battery fails. Another great feature related to the battery is the Shake Awake technology. The way it comes is after 10 minutes, the optic turns off, and the second it senses any motion whatsoever, it will turn back on. Now, if you don't like that feature, you can disable it, and you can also change it from 10 minutes to 1 hour to 12 hours. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all of the controls, but the one thing I love about this optic, it has 2 different buttons to control the brightness settings. I'm not a big fan of the optics that only have one. If you want to turn the optic on, you can simply press either button to turn it on. Once the optic is on, you want to turn it off, you hold both buttons for a few seconds, and that will turn the optic off. Now, it also has 3 modes. There's an auto mode, a manual mode, and a lockout mode. The auto mode will automatically sense the ambient light around you and adjust the dot accordingly. In my opinion, I've never seen one of these work well enough for me, so I'm not a big fan of that. I keep mine in manual mode, that allows me to manually adjust the brightness according to however I want. And the last option is lockout mode, where it disables the button so you don't accidentally change the brightness when you don't mean to, like it presses up against your belt or something like that. The way you switch from those different modes is you simply hold the plus arrow, plus button for about 3 seconds. The reticle will blink, and that's how you know you're switching from one mode to the next. The last control we're going to go over is how to switch to different reticles. You simply hold the minus button for a few seconds, and that will let you toggle between the two different reticles. Let's look at the weight, dimensions, and MSRP while we talk about the windage and elevation. The windage and elevation adjustments are pretty standard. They are 1 MOA adjustment per click, and you have a total of 30 adjustments you can make. They are tactile, so as you're making those adjustments, you can feel it and you know how many you're making. It's a very small flathead screwdriver will work with it, or Holosun includes a little tool to make those adjustments. Now, the favorite part of the review that everybody loves is let's talk about the testing that I did on this Optic. I've had this on my pistol for several months now, and I have shot it a whole bunch. I've split my carry time lately, about 50-50 between my SIG P365 with the Holosun HE509T and this P10C with this Holosun 509. So I carried it quite a bit. Besides carrying it over those few months, I also brought it to the range at least a dozen times. I mean, that's bare minimum, probably even more than that. And through those range trips, I shot pretty much every common pistol drill, anything you could possibly think of. I shot it with this gun. I started off doing a lot of close-up drills that require precision shooting in very, very small targets. I also did some close-up drills on larger targets where I could push the speed a little more, most of them being transitioning from one target to the next. Of course, I did plenty of drills that had me drawing from the holster, just to learn, where to pick up the red dot and how to pick up the red dot. I think that's important to be able to pick up the red dot when drawing from the holster. As always, I did reload drills because they amuse me and I like doing them, so I do lots of them. I shot targets at different distances, a couple close, couple far, transitioning back and forth. I did shoot the gun at some extended distance as well, just for fun. I don't know, I get a kick out of shooting pistols at 100 yards. It makes the internet trolls angry. So I did a little bit of that, and I did pretty good getting hits. More than anything else, I always say it, my range has a ton of steel. Both of my ranges have a ton of steel, so I did a ton of shooting this gun at steel. I also used it, I set up mock tactical game courses where running and gunning and carrying and lifting heavy stuff, and I set up a few of those and I shot this gun, and having the red dot when you're out of breath is just absolutely priceless. The last thing I did a dumb first person TikTok type video where you try to hold the phone and show the gun, and then you you have the phone look through the optic as you shoot. And I don't know, I just don't think I'm cool enough to do videos like that. Anyway, through all of that testing, the biggest pros I have, one is going to be the enclosed housing. I really like that, just little extra insurance of nothing being able to get lodged in there, and a lot less likely to have problems with my red dot. I also love the value that Holosun offers compared to its competitors. It's still very good quality, just a little bit less expensive, and I always say it, but I'm cheap. The solar panel on top is great. The battery life in the battery compartment is dope. I love everything about it, and then the Shake Awake technology is great as well. I love that all Holosuns have that Shake Awake technology. I'm a very big fan. As far as cons, I don't know if I have a con on this specific pistol, optic, excuse me. When I first got it, I was very concerned at what it was going to be like looking through it. It's such a bigger, it looks so different than a traditional red dot, and it's so much bigger. It looks like an old school computer monitor, just shrunken down. But the second I brought it up and started shooting it, you can't tell that it's a much bigger housing when you start shooting it. You just pick up the dot like anything else, and it wasn't an issue. The one thing I will mention is obviously these Holosun dots are made in China. The only reason I'm mentioning it is every single Holosun video I do, plenty of comments about them being made in China down in the video description. If that bothers you, if you only buy stuff or try very hard to buy stuff made in the States, that's fine. You do have Trijicon that are made here in the States, but one of the reasons you get a less expensive optic with Holosun is because it's made offshore. My plan originally was to put a Trijicon SRO on here, and I actually got 2 of them defective back to back from Optics Planet. And I can deal with that. I'm a pretty patient and easygoing guy. Mistakes happen, especially in manufacturing. But Trigicon's customer service, I was very, very disappointed. I called them a total of 3 times, and they just weren't very helpful. They weren't very friendly, and I got very, very frustrated with them. I returned the SRO to where I bought it, which was Optic's Planet, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and get another Holosun. I was very disappointed. I wanted to put some rounds through the SRO and compare it to the Delta Point Pro that I own, but I couldn't deal with the lack of customer service. Anyway, overall, I think Holosun, again, is a great value for your money. I have 5 or 6 of them now in that area. I don't know how many of them. Like, look at my carry guns. 507K, 507C, and 509, 508, 509T, whatever the model number is on this one. I think it would work well on a small rifle, like an SBR, AR pistol type thing. Obviously, it makes sense on a traditional pistol as well. And yeah, I think it's good to go. I have no hesitations using that to protect myself and my family. I do trust my life to it. All right, I need to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is USCCA. Again, click the link, type in your email address if you want to find out more about USCCA. My Patreon supporters are great. They funded the ammo for, not all, a lot of the ammo for this review, so thank you very, very, very much to those gentlemen. Let me also thank the other companies who support me with affiliate links. Again, the links to all of them are down in the video description. Who else do I need to thank? I forgot. I gotta cheat. I have a bunch of Tiberious swag if you want to support the channel. The link is down in the video description. If you want to know what reviews I am working on right now in real time before they come out, the links to my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Parler, again, is down in the video description. More important than any of that, I want to thank you guys for watching because it is greatly, greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.